Okay, we have all done this at least once in our life. Have you ever walked into a store for one thing and then you walk out with five? Or you open up an app to check something quickly and then end up scrolling for 30 more minutes? Or this right here is my personal favorite. You go to cancel a subscription and suddenly it's like you're solving a puzzle that you didn't even sign up for. Yeah, that's not random. And I know what you're probably thinking. You're like, yeah, sure, but that's just how things are, right? And that is exactly my point. Because the reason that it feels normal is because it was designed to feel that way. And I'm not just saying this from someone on the outside looking in. I am saying that as a designer. This is literally the kind of thinking that goes into building an experience, whether that's a menu or an app or even the layout for a grocery store. So it's not that you're bad with money. It's not that you're indecisive. You're not easily distracted. You are responding exactly the way design intended for you to respond. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. By the end of this video, you're going to start noticing these patterns everywhere. And more importantly, you're going to understand why they work. Because this isn't about blaming design, it's about understanding it. Let's start with something that you have definitely experienced. Menus. Not just what's on them, but how they are designed. Have you ever noticed when you're looking at a menu, your eyes don't actually read from top to bottom? No, instead you scan. And designers know that. There is something that we like to call the golden triangle, which is basically where your eye naturally goes first on the menu. It goes from top right to left to center. So what do restaurants do? They place their most profitable items right there. Not necessarily the best dish or the chef's favorite, the one that they are guaranteed to definitely make the most money on. And it gets deeper than that. Have you ever noticed that the price isn't ever listed with a currency symbol? Like instead of $12, it says 12. That is also intentional because the currency symbol, it reminds you that you're spending money. Removing it, it subconsciously makes the decision feel a lot lighter, less transactional and more like, sure, I'll get that. And then there is descriptions. It's never just chicken. Instead, it's usually something like slow roasted, free range chicken with herb infused garlic. Same dish, but a very different feel. Because now you're not just buying food, you're buying a whole experience. And the wild part, it works. Even when you know it's happening. Designers aren't immune to this. Now let's talk about something way more personal. Apps. Because this is where design stops being subtle and it starts becoming a little sneaky. You know the moment when you're going to cancel something and the cancel button is impossible to find? But the keep subscription button, that's easy. It's right there. Bright, bold, practically glowing. That's not bad UX. That's very intentional UX. Designers, we like to use something called visual hierarchy, which is basically controlling what you see first. We could achieve this with color, size, placement, contrast. We use these things to guide your attention. So if a company wants you not to cancel something, they don't remove the option. They just make it way harder to see, harder to process, harder to choose. Because every extra second that you hesitate, there is a stronger chance that you'll just give up. Or maybe even think to yourself, I'll deal with it later. And then later never comes. There's also something called friction design, which is exactly what it sounds like. Make a certain action feel inconvenient enough that the user won't follow through. This looks like extra steps, confirmation screens, are you sure messages. But it's only the actions that they want you to take, like sign up, one tap. Leaving, it becomes a whole journey. Now let's talk about the real world again. Supermarkets. This is one of my favorites because once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Have you ever wondered why essentials like milk, eggs, and bread are at the way back of the store? It's not for convenience. It's for exposure. Because to get the things that you need, you have to walk past everything you don't need. Every product that you pass is a chance for an impulse buy. And then there's the layout. Wide aisles in some areas, while others are very narrow. That's not random either. Slow movement equals more time looking. More time looking equals more time buying. And don't even get me started on shelf eye levels, because eye level is buy level. The products placed at your natural line of sight, Those are usually the products with the higher profit margin. The cheaper alternatives, those go lower. Literally, you have to look down for them. And the funny thing is most people don't. And then there's the checkout area. This is where design gets almost psychological, because at this point you're already committed. You've made your decisions, you're in line. Your guard is down. And so what do they surround you with? Small, cheap, impulsive items, candy, gum, little extras, all the things that feel like, oh, whatever, it's just one more thing, right? And then suddenly your total is much higher than expected again. So here's the thing, if this is always happening and we're always being manipulated at all times, kind of, but also not exactly, because design decisions aren't inherently bad. It's just a tool. The same principles that could guide you towards buying something can also guide you towards understanding it, or enjoying something, or navigating something more easily. The difference is intention. Is this design helping you, or is it helping someone else at your expense? And that's where awareness comes in. Because once you understand these patterns, then you start to pause just a little. And then you start to notice. You start to notice things like, hey, why is this button so bright? Why is this item placed here? Why does this process feel so easy or so hard? And that pause, that's power. Because design works best when you don't question it. When it feels invisible, when it feels effortless, when it feels very normal. And the moment that you start noticing it, that's when you break the illusion. And here's something that I don't think people talk about enough. Even designers fall for this all the time. Just because you know the strategy doesn't mean that you're immune to it. Because these systems are built around human behavior, not logic, not emotion, habit, attention. So this isn't about outsmarting design. It is about recognizing that something is trying to guide you without you even noticing it. So how do you actually use this knowledge in your everyday life? Not in a I'm never spending money again kind of way. But what you can do is you could take this knowledge and use it in a more aware way. When you are in a store, notice what's at eye level. Look up, look down. You'll instantly notice the difference. When you're on your favorite app, pay attention to what's easy and what's hard. That is where intention is hiding. When you make a decision, especially a quick one, you could ask yourself, did I really choose this? Or was I guided here? Not every time. But once you start doing this enough, you start recognizing the pattern. Because here's the truth. You're not being tricked because you're unaware. You are being guided simply because you're human. And design understands that really well. Probably better than we like to admit. If you're a designer watching this, this is your reminder that what you do matters. Because you're not just making things that look good. You are shaping behavior. You are influencing decisions and you're guiding attention. And you get to choose how you use that, to manipulate or to empower people. So yeah, a little dramatic, maybe, but the next time you pick up something that you didn't even plan to buy, or hesitate before pressing cancel, or if you suddenly feel hungry after reading a menu, just know that it's not random. It was designed that way. And now, you see it. But okay guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love talking about design psychology and I hope you loved listening to it. But that's all I have for you right now. So I will catch you in the next one. Bye.